Hey everyone, it's Nicole from Sunflower Days & Co. And we have recently started a new season on Anchor and our podcast called The Bloom. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And here's why. I'll explain it. It's free, so you don't have to worry about, a monthly cost of any kind. There are plenty of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I use my Chromebook, so that really helps. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and follow us everywhere that you can find us. Hey there everybody, and welcome to Sunflower Days & Co. podcast. This is Nicole speaking. And today, I just want to kind of say thank you to everyone who has tuned in and listened in, because I have had some self-doubt lately about what I've been doing, and I really genuinely appreciate everybody listening and tuning in, because I felt like I was on this hamster wheel of doing the same things over and over again, and I was afraid that I wasn't doing the right things. And then I was listening to a podcast by Rachel Hollis this morning, and without even realizing it, I've been kind of doing some of the same things she does. If you go to her podcast on Spotify, it's the Rachel Hollis podcast, and she talks about how to start a podcast and what to do to grow your podcast. And in a nutshell, all the things like she's been talking about like in that podcast have been things like I've made notes of before, and sometimes you don't realize you're on the right track until like you hear it from somebody else who's doing something similar to what you're doing. And I love Rachel Hollis. I listen to a lot of her. I used to listen to like Jim Rohn and other people as well. And for those of you who know me, know that I have a background in network marketing and MLMs, and I didn't feel like I fit into those categories, and I didn't feel like I wanted to, work for myself but still be putting money into somebody else's pocket. So I just stepped back from that and wanted to do something more fulfilling. And so now I just kind of support other people who have their own business, whatever it might be. And I have this podcast here which fulfills everything that I've wanted to do my whole life. And this allows me to have a creative out, a way of getting my creativeness out. And some of the hobbies and things that I'm into really lead me down into this, because it helps to motivate me, to keep me going. And I love photography. I've been doing photography since I was 4 years old. My mom was telling me a story the other day, like about handing me a camera at like 4 years old to take a couple pictures, and she couldn't believe how good they came out. And, she's like, you've always had that eye for detail. And ever since that conversation, it has made me really pay attention to the details more. If it's from, the photography to, the blog is starting back up. I'm so excited for that. And I put off a lot of stuff, but I have so much that I've written already that I just have to basically copy and paste into Blogger, and then I will edit everything and kind of like make it up to date, because this is stuff I've written the last 4 years, and go from there. And I'm on and off social media. I'm on social media when I'm on like my computer. I don't keep it on my phone. I let my phone be my space for creativity, and it's really helping my mental health so much. I have so many books to read. I have so many things to write. I have a household to maintain because I am still a stay-at-home mom. Even though my child might be of school age, I am still home because I am the one who gets him up, takes him to the bus, gets him from the bus, gets him, started on homework, and my husband's on a different schedule altogether. And I'm working on getting him on the podcast. I'm trying to get him on, but not everybody's as open-minded about this as I am. I have let a lot of things take the back seat, including myself, the last few years, and I finally started to put certain things before the house or before, going out and doing something, with a friend or something like that. I would sit down and make a list of the things I really wanted to do versus the things that, I maybe somewhat wanted to do, and the things that I absolutely did not want to do. And those were the things that I started focusing on, were the things that I really wanted to do and that I had a passion for. So I was going through and looking at my analytics on the podcast, and y'all really like the ones where I talk about the really intense detail things like the disassociation and things not to say to moms. And I'm really glad that there's a variety of things that you guys really, really like. And my ultimate goal, my ultimate intention is just to shed light on things that I think everybody goes through, and just to come on here and kind of talk about them, and to maybe bring a new ideal or a new way of thinking about things, because there are other things too, especially, with the way the world has gone the last 2 years specifically. And there are so many things I could say along the lines of that, but we live in that every single day. We're still learning so much about things we learned the last 2 years, and being in a pandemic. And now I'm pushing forward the best way I can, and just really focusing on different topics that you guys enjoy me talking about. And if you ever feel like what I have to say gets mundane, or you feel like there's something you want me to talk about, or something you want me to give advice on, or something, personally you want to know, please send inquiries to sunflowerdaysco@gmail.com. And that is where you can reach me for business inquiries. And please follow us on all social media. So the Instagram is Sunflower Days & Co. The Facebook is Sunflower Days & Co. And the Twitter is the one that is days_sunflower. But I had gone through a couple different Twitter accounts, and I just kind of had issues with that. And if you want to see me do YouTube videos, I will start doing YouTube videos when I can get my Instagram followers past a certain point. I will really start to be more active on there. And if you become a supporter of the channel, I will do live videos on YouTube to answer questions. And I will do them for as long as YouTube will allow me to do a live video. Sometimes they have shorter amounts of time. And I will make them private. So that way when I start the live video, you will have to have the link in order to watch the live video. And in order to do that, you need to become a supporter of the podcast. And you need to also make sure that I used to have a contact form, and I I want to figure out a way, like, how, if I can see who supports the channel, because then I can, in some way, I can send you the link that way. So let's do it like this. There's a send message icon on Anchor. If you all download Anchor and you get onto there, you send me a message, you say, I plan on or I am supporting you on your podcast, and I am donating a certain amount every month, then I will start doing those live Q&As and, just general conversations. And then if it ends up only being 1 or 2 people, then maybe I will just create a Zoom call, and we'll get on a Zoom call, we'll have a conversation, and we'll just go from there. Also, Green Room. That is the other thing that Spotify has now, is Green Room. I'm a beta tester on the Play Store, and they were like, hey, you do your podcast and stuff like that, try the Green Room thing. And maybe I'll get on Green Room, and we'll try that out and see if there is a possibility that there's more people who want to listen in and be a guest on Green Room, because I feel like with Green Room, they allow you to have, other people jump in, whoever wants to jump in and jump on, but it's not a video, it is just the audio. So it is like a live podcast, but you can kind of see the picture of who is there. And I think it's mostly for other people who have a podcast. If you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, please send your inquiry to sunflowerdaysandco@gmail.com. And if you need to be able to find any of my socials or emails or anything like that, they should be under the About Me section on the Anchor app as well. And you can always reach out on Facebook. You can always reach out on Instagram. Those are our business pages only. That is not a personal the personal Facebook that I had is gone. It's gone right now, and everything I have is strictly business related. So I have the Facebook page, I have the Instagram page, and you can reach me that way. And I have so many things that I need to photo dump onto Instagram that will be scheduling out posts ahead of time. So if you notice that there is a post on Instagram or on Facebook or to my stories of any kind, and you comment or reply and I don't reply back immediately, give me a couple hours to get to it, because I have a schedule that I'm working on for scheduling out the posts ahead of time. And I wanted to keep the stories very in the moment of when things were happening, and then the posts, I was going to schedule them out and also have some where I do post pretty regularly. Right now the goal is just once a week is a podcast, once a week is a little post, once a week there's a blog posting, and every now and then, if I feel like sharing something funny from Reels on Instagram, it pops up. But I don't have Instagram on my phone right now. So everything that I'm working on for you guys, is all everything is being scaled up. Everything is being worked on. More of me is going to be put into every aspect of what I'm working on, because I felt like I was losing traction. I felt like I was getting stuck again. I felt in a mindset that, I just wasn't getting the momentum I wanted. But what I was doing was insanity, and just, I was just bulking things up for the podcast, but not really working on post sharing. So now we're going to be working on being a complete package deal. And I know a lot of times I say we, but it is really just one person working on this, and that is me. But I say we a lot because I feel like there's a lot of what I see you guys listening to, a lot of your contribution to like what I see you guys listening to, and what I see people sharing in my audience, because I pay attention to detail and I try to keep everything, in mind on what people want without losing what I want in the process. So I call it we because I feel like this is a collective effort, and I feel like I have an abundance of support, and I really just want to say thank you. And I'm really excited about all the episodes and everything. One thing that might be changing with episodes and seasons is that the seasons might go away. Okay, and they might just become, I don't know if it's going to be easier to have an episode number or to keep doing seasons the way I'm doing it, but that may change. I will let you know, or you will notice a difference. If I go back through and change every single one of them, it would be very difficult to, but we'll see. Right now, I do 2 seasons a year, is what I've done this year, and I think I'm going to keep it that way. So from January to July will be like one season, and from August to December we'll have the rest of the year will be another season. And you never know, we might go to 2 weeks, we might stay at 1 a week for the podcast, but I am just focused on that consistency, and I feel like that is so important for you guys. And the reason why I do a podcast versus doing a video is because when I do videos, I can't look at myself on a video. I can't look at the camera in the right spot so you guys feel like I'm talking to you. But I feel like when I talk onto the podcast, that it is really me talking to you guys, and that you guys can feel that, and that I don't feel like I zone out to the distance. And I really appreciate everybody listening to this podcast, and I will talk to you all in the next one.